Hey everyone, it's Dana here with Love Soul the Flowers, and we are going to do a tutorial tonight. If you didn't catch our live video last night, we did show you some of our new fillers up close and personal so that you know what they look like and can see what you're getting into before you purchase those on our website at lovesoultheflowers.com. We are having a sale right now up to 70% off, so go check that out. And if you've not joined our community group, that is facebook.com/groups/lovesoultheflowers. You can find all of our videos here live on Facebook in our business page, but we also have a YouTube video section. It's youtube.com/lovesoultheflowers. And that way you can do a good search and follow our channel and get all of those there. So I did tell you guys a couple nights ago, maybe last week, when I was showing you how to wrap a bouquet stem. Hey everyone. That we would do how to wrap a boutonniere too. So I'm going to do two styles of boutonniere wrap, and it's going to be ribbon and twine. So just a couple little tips. It could be frustrating sometimes, but we're going to go through that. So first we're going to do satin because I'm going to pull it back off after we're done, and do twine too to show you both. And really it's kind of starting it. Hi Elsie. Starting it and stopping it is the hard part. So I'm going to use a satin ribbon. It is, I got this one from Hobby Lobby actually. The width is 1 3/8 inch, okay? I know it's backwards on your screen, but 1 3/8 inch. But the big thing about this that makes it the easiest is get the width of your ribbon to be the length of what you like your stem to be. So some people like them a little longer, some people like them a little shorter. I do not like long stems at all. I like them to be very short, just enough to kind of pin it. But you're going to want to have a ribbon that's as wide as you want your stem, because that would be the easiest way to do it. So as you can see, that matches up for me. Now, here's just a few tips again. So not only do you want your ribbon as wide as you like your stems, and again, whatever ribbon you have, you can just trim your stems to be that length. So I want to show you, I use this ribbon. It's not the like floppy, silky kind. It's more like the, I don't know, crunchy, crispy kind. This is the best to use because it doesn't fray when you cut it. So let me just show you, watch, with my scissor, boop, and it cuts and it can't fray. Whenever I use ribbon, and sometimes I do have to use the floppier ribbon because it matches everything else I've got going on. But if I can, and when I can, I like this ribbon for boutonnieres. Look, no matter what I do, it doesn't fray. So again, look, you just keep, it cuts like that. So this is like, again, like more of that, like, not gift wrapping, not like that cheesy gift wrapping, but more of that, you know, bow making kind of ribbon. It works the best. So I'm going to take a piece, I'm going to cut it a little bit longer than I will need because that helps me seal it up and cut it. And what I'm going to do is take the back of my boutonniere and I'm going to line it with one line of hot glue, and I'm going to place my ribbon on it. Now again, I want it to be the same length. If it was too long, I could just trim the end a little bit. And I'm gonna let it dry just a little bit because you don't wanna pull on it while it's wet. You'll yank it right off. You wanna give it just a second to dry because you do wanna wrap it really tight. So what I'm gonna do is, once it's kind of dry enough for me to pull, I'm just gonna spin it around, and I just like to go around like 2 or 3 times. And I'm gonna make sure it's really, really super tight. So I'm just going to, let me see if I can show you this upside down, my fingers. The hard part about these videos is when they're little and it's hard to show you because my hand's covering it. So let me see. Okay, so let me see if I could do this where you can see it. So I pulled it as tight as I can, and I went around a few times. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to, so you can see, I'm gonna line the back with a bead of glue. And then I'm gonna just turn my edge into that bead of glue. Now, the other positive thing about using this kind of ribbon is that if you get hot glue somewhere that you don't want it to, it literally just scratches off. Unlike the silky kind, that it absorbs into it and you never can get it off, like ever. But I like this because you can just peel it off if you accidentally went a little too far, a little too crazy with your glue. Now, once I've glued that down, I'm just gonna cut right along that glue line. Of course, you want your line to be in the back of your boutonniere. Let me see if I hold it that way. Okay, because you don't wanna have any seams in the front. And you see how perfect that is? This is my seam. Now, if your seam, if you didn't cut like if you've got like a little flap, you could always go back with your glue. If you've got a little flap, make sure you let it cool off just a bit. Or again, a quick trick is if you lick your finger and you can run it through the glue without burning yourself. So I know that's, or maybe if you don't want to use your tongue, you could use like a little bowl of cold water and dip your finger in it and do it. But that is a trick to not burn yourself, is if you lick your finger and you touch it, it literally cools it on contact. So, and then what I like to do, because sometimes in that, see that little hole, sometimes you have a little floppiness. I like to actually fill that. I'm not gonna do it right now because I'm gonna take it off to do the twine, but I would fill the hole up with glue and then just pat it nice and flat. So that's how you get a perfectly smooth satin wrap. The trick is to get ribbon that is as wide as you want your stem to be. So I'm gonna peel this off because we're gonna do twine. And then, you know, lace is similar. I do lace similarly to the satin, except that lace, if it is too long, if it's too wide, if you didn't get a thin one, you can cut the bottom and no one kind of notices. And then if you fill that bottom hole with glue, it seals it and it keeps it from fraying at the bottom. So let me just do twine now, and that'll be it for today. It's not a very long one today, but I do know that we had some people wanting this, especially the twine, how to like seal it up, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start at the top, and I'm gonna put a bead of glue at the top, and I'm gonna lay the top of my twine in there. Carol, it really is satin and twine is usually basically only ones I do. Sometimes they want lace. Sometimes the guys don't want to obviously wear lace, so they don't necessarily match the bride. But in general, it's twine or satin. So I have my one. Let's see if I can do this up close and personal. And the same way that we wrapped the stems, we're going to wrap this. You're going to make sure you keep shoving it up to be no space in between. It's such a little stem. It's hard for me not to cover it with my hands, but let me see. All right, let's see, is that better? So we're gonna take the twine, we're gonna go all the way down. And when you get a little bit before, see I still have a nub, I'm gonna put some glue on the nub, and I'm gonna wrap it right through that glue to hold it nice and tight there. And right before, see I still have a little bit left, right before I get there, I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna trim myself off a little piece like this, okay? And that's, again, I see I still have like a tiny, like one more row's worth. And this is the easiest way that I've found to do it. You gotta watch your fingers though so you don't burn yourself. But you're gonna put a glue, see this? See a bead of glue on my leftover twine? And I'm just going to roll my twine right across. And this too, if you get like little scraps of glue, you can just peel it off. And I just gotta hold it there for a second because you want it to dry. Now, what I do, now if you have any little glue bits, you can just rub the tip of your glue gun on it, it melts them. But I want to seal this edge off. So what I'm gonna do is, see this right here? I'm gonna put glue on the top, like that. And I lick my finger, like I said. Now, again, if you want to use a bowl of water, if you're grossed out by licking your own finger, you know, I get it, trust me. And I'm just going to seal that top right there. Okay? And then again, if any of the glue blobs are white, I just kind of melt it with my the top of my gun. And it's all sealed. So you want to make sure that you add that glue to that bottom so that it can't come undone down there. So does anyone have any questions? I know this was a quick tutorial, but I hope it's helpful. I hope it gave you a little bit of a insight on how to kind of finish up things, make them easy. Again, I finish it down here by putting that glue and just kind of twisting it around and then tucking it in. I know everyone says that, Pamela. But I have this weird thing, like I have to feel everything. Like I'm super big. I don't wear gloves when I paint. Obviously, look at my fingernails. You can see what colors I paint by looking at my fingernails. But I just can't like wear gloves or things because I just feel like I have to touch things. I'm weird like that. So anyway, that is that. This one was wrapped a little high because it was a pretty big nub. I probably would have started out a little higher to cover that tape up, obviously. But for the sake of the video, I didn't go all the way up. But I would have covered my tape. You want to make sure you cover your tape. I think the head of it was bent down a little bit originally so that you don't see it. But yeah, so that's the twine. And then the satin, like I said, if you just do those two little tricks, it's super easy to wrap them. Otherwise, you're trying to spin around and you're going crazy, and that's just, nobody has time for that. So I hope this was helpful, and we're going to be trying to get in some more. You know, I was sick for a little bit and all that, so I'm going to try to shove in as many tutorials as I can for you guys in the next couple of months to kind of catch up on me being sick, me being away, all that kind of stuff. But if you have any ideas for tutorials that you're really wanting to know some tips and tricks about, please let us know in our group. Again, that is facebook.com/group/lovesoloflowers. And when you go there, you can post like, hey, I have an idea for a tutorial, and we'll let you know if we've already done one. And if we haven't, then I can put it on my list at least, and we can do that for you guys. Okay? All right, everyone. Have a great weekend. Bye.